Hey guys, so I wasn't gonna make a video today because nothing has really changed. Just same old crap, right? There's the thumping and the skittering around. Like, it's almost like an infestation, which is, I think, the sensation that they want to give the targets, like being swarmed and infested. They're thumping, they're pounding, they're provoking, they're having other people provoke me intentionally because that way I can't get peace in here or outside. So whatever they know is going to provoke me the most, either they do or they have their idiot lackeys do. Um, anyway, but this video is going to be about something else, something that's been going on for a while now. And I saw a video, I don't know if it was posted today or yesterday, from another Target. It was, yes, maybe, yes, I don't know, I don't remember what day it was. But I saw the video today. It was in my channel today, and it was from another Target. And yeah, he posted a video talking about his trouble with taxi cabs and cab drivers. And the guy is, I think his name is Brian too. And I don't know him personally. I've never spoken to him, but he is absolutely correct about the taxi issue. This seems to be common among us, among people who are being targeted in this manner. Whatever you want to call the targeting, it seems to be common. So I wanted to talk about some of the trouble that I've had with taxis over the last few years. So first of all, some of it is just exactly the same. I'll get in a cab, and at some point they'll stop because they don't know where to go, and they'll just sit there and stall until you give up, and you're either going to wait and be late, or you're going to get out and try to get a bus or hail another cab if you can, or something, but you're going to have to pay them anyway for whatever time they spend. I'll hail a cab, not hail a cab, but if the building has a cab light, I'll turn that on, and the guy will stop. And this is after a bunch of people just pass us up. A guy will stop, and I'll get in, I'll give him the address, and then he'll get a text or something, and then he'll look at me and say, "Oh, sorry, I can't go there." And so it's in and out of the cabs, one by one as they pull that same crap. And it's not far. It's not usually far. One time, and if I use if I try to call a cab through a cab app, they just won't show up. There'll be a bunch of, it'll say there are no cabs in the area, even though there are a bunch of cabs going back and forth in the area, and they don't all have passengers. But none will stop until I just give up and, take public transport. That's how it was. It's getting more difficult now, now during the pandemic, I don't go anywhere, but taking public transport is hard when you're being targeted, and I've got a lot of stories about that to tell. But eventually I did start taking rideshare, and here's the reason I did. A few years ago, I was in the city and my mom was in the suburbs, and I got a call saying that she was being taken to the hospital. She had fallen, and there was something wrong with her leg. So I took public transportation to the suburbs, right? Because I had waited for a cab for long enough and nobody came, even though this is the city, it's a busy area, the cab light was on. Eventually I gave up with the cab light, and I tried to call for a cab, and they just kept saying no cab was in the area. Bullshit. So I took public transportation to the suburbs. Okay. And this was before I was really seriously using rideshare, and I didn't have, I think I might have used it a few times at that point, but I didn't have money in the account, and I didn't think to take it, and I was still worried about being tracked, but that probably would have been a better alternative because given what happened. So we're at the hospital, and it's time to leave, right? She's got a big cast on, and we call a cab, and they don't come. Okay. Eventually, and nobody's helping us. The guy there at the attendant is useless. He's just giving us the brush off. He sees an old woman here with a broken leg, and me trying to, find out what the hell is going on. Why are we waiting? Why can't we get a cab? And he's useless. Eventually, he says, well, we can wait outside, in the whatever, that the cab is going to be here soon. Okay. Finally, maybe after a little over an hour, a cab comes. We get in, and it's hard to get her in the cab. I get her in, I put her walker in, they gave her a walker, I put her walker in the back. We sit down, finally we're on our way home, at least I think we're on our way home, and then he says, oh, sorry, I can't go there. At that point, that was before I knew what organized stalking was, but I was starting to think, even at that point, that something is going on. Am I cursed? Is the universe fucking with me? Something is going on. And I knew I was being followed at that point, but I didn't know what organized stalking was. I hadn't yet learned about it. But it was clear something was up. So we had to get out of the cab, my mother with her broken leg, sit back down outside, and wait for another one. Finally, someone came. Finally, after all that stress. And, that was during a time where, right around the same time, I don't know if it happened right before or right after, sometimes I block things out, like I dissociate and I can't remember. But around that same time, the pipes upstairs burst, and I don't know if it was in an apartment or the laundry room. They wouldn't tell us exactly what happened, but it flooded our entire floor. Some people on the floor actually had to leave their apartments for a time. We could stay in ours, but it was soaked, and we had this huge machine to air it out and to dry it out. And then with her cast and her walker, it was chaos all at once. And I didn't know at the time that it was probably a setup, because in the old apartment that she had a condo, she lost everything. We had to walk away. There was flooding from upstairs, and it was a mess. It was a disaster. I mean, it flooded the tiers all the way down to our tier and even below us. It was bad. But yeah, she lost everything there. So the same flooding happened here. And I didn't know at the time that creating leaks and all this trouble was a tactic used by organized stalkers, by the Zerzetzung team, the PSYOP team, right? I didn't know at the time. Anyway, now I rarely take cabs. Now I use Rideshare, and I don't like using that, and I didn't use it much before because everything is tracked, and I was trying, I was trying to be anonymous. But now I know I can't be anonymous, right? They're following me anyway. Plus, there's more of a record. If you use Rideshare, not only do you have a record of that, it's all, digital, but at the same time, the ride is being monitored, and, if something goes wrong, if something goes off course, that's tracked. So, once I had a cabbie, he took me all out of the way, and this was it was a while back. He took me out of the way. He went down side streets. One side street had a big sign with my name on it. Yeah, my name, not my last name, but my first name. And he was making references to my family, and how could he know? Russian guy, how could he know, right? So, yeah, I mean, and there's no way to document, when they go off track like that. You can take out your camera, I guess, and I didn't think to record it. I should have. But, yeah, now we take Rideshare more. If I have to take her, if I have to go with her somewhere, we take Rideshare just so everything is documented. But I just wanted to tell my story, the trouble that I've had with cab drivers, and as a targeted individual of this Zerzetzung style PSYOP, this like a combination of Zerzetzung, COINTELPRO, MK Ultra all together, a hybrid of sorts. I don't know. That's all for today.